Hey everybody, my name is Niku and welcome to the Trading Setup channel. The market has entered a new phase and old approaches are no longer effective, but there's a strategy based on a couple of indicators that will still work under these conditions. Moreover, from my observations, this will remain relevant at least until 2026. So my advice is, make use of it while it's still available. Before we dive into that, let me remind you, I have a free resource where I publish materials. There, I post breakdowns, daily setups, and risk management guides. I also update the content regularly and the old ones disappear, so grab it while you can. Contacts is in the description below. Now, let's get into it. So before we start trading, we need to set up our platform, and we're going to do that now. We're going to be adding 2 indicators, but first thing we're going to do is make sure that our candle period is set to 1 minute, and we are going to put our expiration time, our trade expiry, on 3 minutes. We're going to leave that as it is and 1 minute candles. Next up, we're going to add 2 indicators. First indicator we're going to add is momentum. And we're going to make a change here, and we're going to change this to 14. There we go. Smooths it out a little bit. Next indicator we're going to add is the ADX. Now you can leave this at default. We're not going to change any of the settings. I do like my indicator setup like the classic, according to the classic colors. So I'm just changing some of the colors. So it makes it easier for me to see the DI plus and DI minus with red and green like we used to with candles. But this is not something you have to do. If you're used to the ADX being different colors, you can leave it like that. It doesn't matter. We're not changing the inputs. As long as your input is 1414, we're good. Okay, so we're going to save it. So this just makes it visually a little bit easier to see, to distinguish between the DI plus and the DI minus lines. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to look for areas where the either the DI plus or the DI minus is dominant. Like in this case here, we can see that the DI plus was dominant here, and then our ADX started climbing. Okay, so this is the first thing we're going to look for, is a dominant DI plus or DI minus, and we're going to look for the ADX to start climbing as well. And only when we get an increase in momentum are we going to take a trade in that direction. So for this, for example, we were here, and although the DI plus was dominant, my ADX was still very low, and by the time it actually started climbing, I had a decline in momentum. So the momentum was decreasing here. This candle, however, fulfilled all the parameters of my entry. So we had the ADX climbing, a very dominant DI plus, and then also my this candle here was higher than the previous momentum. So we can say here that it's gaining momentum. And this is where I would have taken a 3-minute buy. And we're going to do the exact same opposite for when the when price is dropping. So we're going to look at the ADX, and ideally you want to get you want to look for moves where the ADX has been low for a while and then starts climbing. Okay, so this would have been an example. So not here, not here. This would have been our entry here. So 3-minute sell here on this candle because my momentum was declining here and my ADX only started climbing, and we do need the other DI to be below the ADX as well. I kind of forgot to mention that. So we do need the other DI below the ADX. So that's our conditions. It's quite simple, and we're going to find some trades with it now. Okay, now that we know what we're looking for, we can start going through some assets and see if we can pick up some trades using this strategy. So we're going to flip through assets, and first thing we're going to look at is what the ADX looks like. We want an ADX that's running fairly low. This is an example of something we're not going to be looking at all. We want an ADX that's running fairly low, and then we want to see a DI plus or DI minus going strongly upwards, and then the ADX rising, and then the opposite DI dropping below the ADX, and then we're going to look at the momentum to see if it's gaining. If it's gaining, we'll go into our trades, but we'll get the examples as we go along. So we'll just flip through a few assets and see if we can find one or find a decent setup. See, this is the kind of setup we're looking for. We have the ADX low at the moment. It looks like it's going to start climbing, but we need to wait for the DI crossover, and then we need to see if the momentum is dropping or not. If it's increasing to the bottom side, and this looks like it's not going to be happening, but we're going to put a pin on this. We're going to add it to our favorites list so we can come back to it in a second or two, in a minute or so actually. Let's see if we can find anything else. This also looks like it might give us a trade entry in a few minutes. Oh, we missed an entry here. There was a decent entry. We would have gotten in on this candle here. Would have been a good place to enter. We unfortunately missed it. It's too late to get in now, so we're not going to do that. Another one would have been, there would have been an entry here. And this candle somewhere around here, we would have taken a sell trade. But let's sit on this for a minute. It looks like the next candle or two might give us an entry. I'm not a big fan of how the the DI plus, the green one, has been falling. It's showing me there's not a lot of change in price from here. Big sharp move, and from, we can see it on the price action as well. This area here is not, price has been going sideways here. So we're going to leave this. It looked good for a minute. This is one of the secrets of trading that people don't understand always. There's going to be times when you're trading when you're not going to find entries with your strategy, or it's going to be very slow. These are the times that you need to just relax. Don't force trades. Don't take trades that's not within your strategy. There's going to be times when you get a ton of trades with your strategy. It doesn't matter what strategy you use. All strategies go through the cycle. So the thing people start doing is, if they haven't gotten an entry, especially on short-term charts like this, we're doing 1 minute or 5 minute charts. Those are short-term charts, and people will be used to getting a couple of entries and then suddenly not getting the entries for a while. This is normal, but people start thinking they're doing something wrong because they're not getting entries. And the only thing to do is to wait. But people don't like to wait in general, so they start forcing trades. I see this a lot in new traders. The market is dynamic. Your strategy will give you entries, but they will never be. This is it. We're going to go with the sell trade here. Your entries, if you sit down and trade, let's say you've got a fixed time in the evenings, for example. You have a fixed time to trade every day. Suppose you're out working, come back home, do dinner, and then every night, let's say 7 to 9 o'clock, you sit down and you look for entries. People expect that during that time, and suppose you do this every day of the week. Every single day you do this 7 to 9. That's your time slot. That's where you have time to trade. You are not going to get the same amount of entries every day in that time period. Sometimes we said 7 to 9, so sometimes you might get 10 entries, sometimes you'll get 1. That's just how it is. Doesn't matter what strategy you're using. So you need to keep that in mind. You will not get the same amount of entries in the same time slot. That's not how a strategy works. Your strategy is a map to market to price movement. That's what it's supposed to be in any case. It shows you what the market is doing, but the market's not always doing the same thing. There's cycles in the market. Market conditions change. I've seen assets. Let's look at a practical 2-hour period. So we had this was 3 hours. Here we had this asset was going was basically ranging here, and then it started going up. So half of the time it was kind of ranging, and then it was going up. And I've seen assets just go into a run for 2 or 3 hours where you're not finding trades, because it's really difficult. Once the asset starts trending really hard, it kind of gets difficult to get entries in that. And with trending really hard is, something like this. If you start seeing candles like this, taking a trade either way is a gamble, because there's no way you can determine what's going to happen next, especially if it goes into runs like this. Okay, so I've seen assets run like this. I've seen assets sit around a single price for 2 or 3 hours. It happens. So you cannot expect to get the same results every day. I don't get the same results every day. I don't get the same amount of trades every day. Some days I get a ton of entries. Other days I hardly trade at all because the market doesn't allow it. My strategy doesn't give me entries. And when this happens, I don't go and mess around with my strategies. I accept that this is what the day is like. This is what the market conditions are like. And there we go. Our trade was good. I accept this is what the conditions are like. If you don't have the discipline to wait for entries when the market is slow, just go do something else. It's the safest option. So yeah, we're not going to get the same amount of trades. Don't get discouraged. If you sit down, especially if you sit down with a new strategy you want to test out, you cannot test a strategy for the day or over a couple of hours. Whenever I work on a new strategy that I think about trading with, I test at least 1,000 trades before I use it on my real account, because I need the data to know what the average win rate of the strategy is. So you can't sit just for an hour. Don't get discouraged if you find a new strategy or your strategy isn't giving you a lot of entries. You need to look at a longer time period. Okay, so over a longer time period, what the average is. But there is no strategy that's going to give you the same amount of entries or at any time. So keep that in mind. It is what it is. There's no way around it. If there was, I'm pretty sure you would have found it by now. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, we had one good trade. We had a DI plus drop below the ADX. The ADX was started rising. We had the DI minus go up beautifully, and then we had the increase in the momentum, in the bearish momentum. So we just went with price and we took our trade. Okay, so that was a good one. Let's see if we actually let's see what these two are doing. The ones we were looking at. Okay, so this asset is definitely out of the question. Let's see what this is doing. Okay, also flatlining. Basically, my indicators are flatlining at the moment. So there's no way for me to tell what price is busy doing. Nothing to follow, so we're just going to leave that as well. Let's start at the top of the list again and see if maybe we have an asset that has changed the setup a little bit. Okay, so this is something where I might look for an entry. I need to wait for this candle to close though, because if this candle pulls down before the close, this momentum is going to drop. This momentum histogram will come down. If it closes as is, it will be a decent trade, but I am going to wait for the close of this candle because I need the increase of momentum. The ADX has met the conditions on the close of this candle. We have the ADX climbing now. The DI plus is beautifully high. I had the crossover of the DI minus, and my momentum is picking up at the same time. So we had an increase in momentum. So this meets the parameters of our strategy, and now all we need to do is wait for the timer to run out, and we'll see what happens. Let's put a pin in it, and while we're waiting for this timer to run out on this specific trade, let's see if there's any other setups that could possibly be forming. So this looks like it's going to be forming an entry for us, but this is a problem. There's zero momentum either way. Okay, so we're going to stay out of this. I'm going to add that to my favorite list because this looks like it might give us an entry in a few minutes. Another good trade there. Let's go back and see what this is doing. Ooh, this candle pushed up all the way and came back. We're almost at the halfway mark of this trade. I'm sure it will be fine. We'll come back to it before it closes. This also looks like it might give us an entry soon. We went green here for a second. What happened? 1 minute left on this. Which was the last one we bought? No. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this asset and we'll go back to it to see what's happening by the time it closes. Let's just want to see if I can pick up something else. Okay, we went green again. Let's go back and see what's happening. A beautiful green candle there. A few seconds left on this and we're good. There we go, fantastic. Okay, we can close that now. We're going to go through the list just one more time and see if we find something that gives us an entry. Okay, so the ADX is beginning to meet the conditions for our entry. We can see it's starting to climb. My DI plus is about to dip through it and my DI minus is rising beautifully. I need to wait a bit to see what will happen with this momentum. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this trade. There's a reason for that. We have price now hitting a support line. This move is happening right above a support line. So this is my support area. We can look at this area here. Okay. So we can see, if we zoom out, we can see that price has been struggling with this area for a bit. There is no real movement. We're going sideways at the moment. So in situations like this, I will rather stay out of the trade. Even though my strategy is giving me a sell signal, I'm going to stay out of this because I know that often when I get a signal right on support or right on resistance, resistance or support or resistance will often win the battle. So taking a sell trade just above a support area, especially if it's a decent support area, taking a sell trade just above it is a massive gamble. Okay, so I'm going to go on the side of caution here and I'm going to skip this entry. So this is the reason I'm not taking it, even though according to my strategy, this is a valid entry. And this might win, I'm probably going to. But I'm not going to risk it because it's firing just above a support level. And I don't like I said, I don't like taking sell trades just above support levels or buy trades just below resistance levels, especially if they're decent. I don't like doing that. It's just a personal thing. I avoid doing that because I know that often the support or resistance areas wins the battle, even if it's just for a short period. What you'll see quite often is when the resistance area, support area gets hit, candles gets pushed up for a few candles, like 3 or 4 of the candles gets pushed up, and then it finally breaks through. So this could be the case here as well. Let's see, our entry would have been here on this candle here. On the opening of this candle, we would have been in the last minute of our trade, and this would have been the deciding candle, and there we go. So even though I do think that price is going to continue downwards, this might only happen in 5 or 10 minutes time. Okay, so when you see conflicting information like this, rather stay out of the trade just to be safe. This would have won, but I'm very happy not taking a trade. I'm very comfortable skipping a trade because I see something else that's conflicting with what I'm with the entry signal that I got. Okay. So that's fine. Okay, so while we were watching the other one, we missed this entry here. Let's just go through the list again and see if we can find any entries using the strategy. I don't want to make too long a video as well, because I think I've explained the strategy by now. We did a few trades, at least got a couple of trades in. Oh, actually, let's go back to this. So we got an entry here. This is the one we were just explaining. I was just going to explain it again. Nice range here. Price is slowing down. The price movement is slowing down. We can see it's like slowing down. It's like might get a breakout trade there soon. I'm going into the lower payouts at the moment. I'm still not finding anything, and it doesn't look like there's anything setting up in the next few minutes either. Okay, we are 20 minutes into the trading part of this video, so I think let's call it here. I don't want to make too long a video, just waiting for entries. It happens sometimes, like I said earlier, you're going to wait for entries. It doesn't matter what strategy you're using. Some days you're going to get a lot of them, some days not. It's how it is. There's no way around it. But I hope you guys understand now that what we're looking for, how we're combining momentum and the ADX, showing us the strength and momentum of the move, these two indicators combined. And if you don't understand it completely, maybe rewind a bit and watch the beginning of the trading part of of the platform setup and trading part of this video again. So make sure you understand it. Please practice, as always. If you start using it, when you start using a new strategy, practice it on a demo account or just watch the charts. Please do not just simply jump into a live account and start trading away thinking this is a magic strategy. You will lose trades. They will be losing trades, so please trade responsibly. There is no magic strategy that's going to give you 100% win rate or 90% win rate. Whenever you hear somebody talk about that, just run. It doesn't exist. Okay, so practice this, please. Again, strategy is limited to as long as the market is in this phase. If you want to learn how to apply it alongside me and other traders, write to me. I run live trading sessions, share setups, and show how they work. Access is limited, and you can only get in via a direct message to me. Contact is in the description below this video. Make sure you subscribe, guys, so you don't miss out on future breakdowns and topics like these. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, may the pips be with you.